Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting episode of Survival Minecraft. What are we doing today? Well, we're bringing this little cat that I just found over to my zombie collection house because we have to name it. Okay, there you go. Buttons. Nice try running away there. So now that I've named Buttons, the question you might be asking is Buttons the first cat that I found here in my world? No, it's not. I found a few other cats here, like we've got Mittens, we've got Kitty McCatface, we've got Whiskers, and this is just a cat, and now we got Buttons. So what I've been doing is I've been finding these cats around here. I've started populating my villager breeding hall over here. Lots of villagers are in there, so different things have been starting to spawn in here. Most importantly, cats. And as these cats have been spawning in, I've been collecting them because, I'm going to turn them into a creeper gunpowder farm. And they should be safe because as the cats have been spawning in, we're also getting iron golems. Hey there, buddy. Since the last episode, on a couple of live streams, I've started populating out my breeding hall here. As you can see, I've got some villagers over here doing some breeding, villagers here doing some farming, and I have some villagers over here who are in the process of being zombified and healed. And I've been using these pickle lights that I collected to let me know how many times they've been through the process. And this is Billy over here who's helping me do the zombifications. I have gotten a few villagers through the process thus far and started to populate my library over here. And I also am going to be filling out the rest of these buildings throughout the village. And oh no. Come on, really? Wandering trader in the chicken coop? All right, give me 1 second. Let me get rid of this guy. I also did some work over here with the greenhouse, and I actually started to bring some villagers over here on live streams as well, and I now have farmers as well as villagers to receive crops, and this was a bit of an interesting process. Some villagers went well getting them in here. Some guys like this guy took a couple of tries, but overall the greenhouse is now fully staffed with farmers and villagers all over the place. In the last episode, I mentioned that the chest that was directly under the greenhouse upstairs was only temporary, and that's because I went ahead off camera and set this up, which is some auto smoking and auto smelting of different items, and I've started to consolidate items coming from different places. This is a bubble vader coming from my bamboo and cactus farm, which is right underneath the village over here, and I have over here some hoppers that are coming down from the greenhouse. Some of the builds that I'm going to be working on today are also going to tie into this, and this chest right here is also only temporary. What I'm going to be working on today is to finish off the auto farming capabilities that we need and start to tie everything together and get ready for what is going to be my big build in episode number 11. So over here we're going to be building some more auto farming items. We've got 2 silo towers I'm going to be putting over here, and we have a large barn structure that's going to go here with auto farming capabilities, and they're all going to tie together. And right over here in this big empty spot right there, that is where my big build for episode 11 is going to go. Probably the biggest build that I've ever done in Minecraft thus far, and that is going to be my auto item sorting and storage building right there. That's coming in episode number 11. But what we're going to start with today is we're going to work more on the village here. We're going to finish up the last buildings that I need to put in here, and I also want to close it off. I have a gate plan for this village, so we're going to put all of that in place. We're going to finish that up, then get to the auto farming, and then have that all ready for our final builds. So just as with the previous previous 3 videos, we've got a lot of building to do. So I think it's time to stop talking, jump in, start building, and let's hit it. and that is the rest of the village all built out. So we've connected with the previous build that we had over here with the gatehouse, and we finished it off with a wall and a tower, and we got a back gate and a hayloft over here. And I didn't finish this final little part over here yet. I'm going to do another wall over here, but I'm going to do that during the detail phase. I kind of ran out of blocks over there, so I'll get back to that one in a little bit. So I still have a little bit to do in terms of finishing and landscaping and all the detail work for the village still to come, and we'll get to that very soon. I want to continue with the rest of the builds, and then we'll revisit the landscaping and all the nice detail work afterwards. So I've moved my resources over here, and we're now going to get started on build number 2 for this video, and that's going to be the silos that are going to be over here. And these silos are going to feature some more auto farming. I need to get some more bamboo for what I'm doing down there, and these silos are going to house that and look like, you know, it's going to start to bring that farm look into the village over here. So let's jump into build mode number 2 and let's get the silos going. And the silos are built. These were kind of a bit of a challenge just because of the varying amounts of the different woods that I decided to use. I could have made them uniform, but I thought it was kind of more visually interesting to break the look of the silos up if there were different types of stripped woods and planks and stuff like that. So they've got a bit of an interesting kind of unique look over here. And right now they're empty. There's nothing in here. I haven't set anything up yet. I got to return to the detail phase to do that. And so with the silos built, it's now time for our final build of this episode. Right here, we're going to put our large barn structure, and this is going to further expand and set up some of our auto farming capabilities. We're actually going to be migrating them from over here. You can see the old stables over there. We're going to migrate them over there so we can tie them into the entire workflow of storage, everything that's going to be going to the auto storage system over here. So let's not talk. It's getting late, so we're going to have to take a snooze, and then we're going to jump in and we're going to raise this barn, everyone. Let's jump in for build mode number 3. And there she is. The barn is done. And as you can see, it actually kind of nicely fits in with the silos that we just built already. They kind of fit together both aesthetically, which is kind of nice. And like other builds that I've done here, this one takes a little bit of a cue from a Hermitcraft build in Hermitcraft Season 6. If you're familiar with Corralis's barn as part of that season, this takes a little bit of a basic inspiration from that. And then I started to customize it. And I did very much the same type of wood paneling with stripped wood and planks that I did over on the silos. And it's got a good amount of room that I could put some different types of animal auto farming and different kind of breeding resources in here, which will be very good. So with the village build complete and the silos and the barn now complete, we're ready to jump in and do some detail work. I'm ready to do all the finishes on these and get everything squared away and done. So let me go jump and do that. I'm going to pop back in just a little bit and we'll come back and we'll talk about all of these different builds and everything, wrap it up for today. So let's go ahead. 3, 2, 1, go. Here is a look from the original Villager Timber Tower that we started with in episode number 8, and there is the rest of the courtyard of the village. And as you can see, I have put a bunch of more details in here. We've got a little bit of a courtyard square and some other stuff. So let's go down and take a look. So I have gone through and done quite a bit of work here in the village, not only detailing the last builds that we did, but I've also set up the village courtyard here a lot more, adding in this kind of like villager meeting place, which is typical of most Minecraft generated villages. So I created sort of that little market meeting place right here with the bells, and we got a little bit of farming going on out here. This is a Fletcher house, so I did set up this little woodworking shed right here and some wood resources out here, as well as this sort of wood pile right here. But I am planning to have villagers walk freely in the village, as well as the ones who I'm going to sequester for jobs. So I'm also creating a bit of a sleeping area and some beds for those villagers so they have somewhere to go. And upstairs we'll have where my Fletchers are actually going to have their workstations and they're going to do their work. Across the way here at the hayloft, I don't really know who's going to be working here on the first floor. Maybe some extra villagers that I need to have in here, but I've got a good number of spaces available here, and I created the upstairs as a kind of a decorative bedroom area, and this could be sort of like my little getaway here in the village if I want to come visit from my beach house or 15 Foxy Road. I have a little bit of a place to come and relax to, and I think that looks kind of nice. And I've got an iron door, so none of the villagers are going to wander in there and take my beds from me. The rear timber tower really does not have a lot going on in terms of detail work inside. I added some decorative vines and stuff like that and added some more mossy cobblestone and mossy stone bricks. But I also did a little bit of detail work here on the rear gate here. And this is just something where you can kind of go up here. And in case there's like a raid or mobs or something, you can kind of have a safe observation tower here to see them. But the main part of the finishing work that I did here for the rear gate is I did this decorative sort of walkway and entranceway right here. Very similar to the portion of the Foxy Road over there past my starter house, but that is a nice little kind of entryway here. Based on a video that I saw on YouTube, I also buried my beacon that I had over here, one of the 2 beacons that I had here. I decided to permanently keep it here and put it in this decorative water fountain. So you can check the link in the description to see the YouTuber who came up with this idea. So thank you for that inspiration right there. And I did update the pathway over here. I thought, you know, with the dirt and these kind of blocks and everything like that, this was very, very busy of an area. It's hard to really distinguish the path from everything. So I decided to make this all spruce planks over here leading to the greenhouse. And I did also off camera just add a replica of the animal stable that's over next to 15 Foxy Road without all of the infrastructure underneath. I don't plan to make this an auto farm necessarily, but just somewhere right now where I could put some stray animals that I've been collecting. I've also done the finishing work on my silos, and seeing how I do need a lot of fuel for the furnaces that are downstairs under the greenhouse, I did turn these both into bamboo farms, and I added the infrastructure here to capture the bamboo when it's coming down from inside the silo, captured by these mine carts with hoppers, and then using the hoppers it goes down and it does connect underground into the furnaces that are under the greenhouse. And the way that these work is that there are several stalks here inside the middle of the silo here, and I have my observers. And the first one that reaches the top of the observers, well, there are pistons down there that fire and pull all of the bamboo branches down. And then, of course, you have the mine carts with hoppers down there that collect everything. And there is redstone all along the back side here that carries the signal down to trigger those pistons. And this is the same for both of these silos. Walking over to the barn here, I did start to try to add some green, as well as I have some log resources over here as well, and I also have some hay bales and things like that that I've started to decorate with. And inside the barn, I've started to create some hay storage, and I have some other storage over here. And I did set it up so that if I want to have some entity crushing going on here, if I want to do cow entity crushing and pig entity crushing, I can do those in here just fine. And on the second level of the barn, I did set up some automatic wool farms again, as I do have some shepherd spots set up in the gatehouse, and I will be creating shepherd villagers. I probably will need a steady stream of wool again, so I have at least 4 spots available here. Whether or not I use them all, I'm not sure. I did catch at least one guy and bring him up here for now. That was a lot of fun. But I do have at least 4 spots ready, and down on the first floor, I have the mechanisms to capture those wools into chests right now. But I do plan, actually, I set this up for the entity crushers. I have hoppers with chests down here, but I'm going to connect. I got to dig out a little more of this later. I got to connect all these hoppers together, and they're going to go in the direction of the eventual item storage and sorting building. And I've done just a little more work on landscaping and some work over here. Here's another big log pile for those Fletchers to be using right here. And a little bit of a connection into the village over here. I still have more landscaping to finish out in front. There's more work that I want to do, and I want to decorate all of this. But I really want to have the item storage building in first, because I think that's really going to impart what I think the rest of the landscaping, everything is going to look like once that building is in place. This is going to be my ultimate all-in-one automatic item sorting and item storage building. It's going to tie all of these different builds together. Everything that I'm going to be getting from all of the villagers and the greenhouse and the farms and the auto farms and everything else, it's all going to culminate right here. So you're definitely going to want to come back for the next episode and check that out. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's video because, hey, we got a lot done. The village is finished. It is done, all complete, no more to do build-wise. Now we just have to start really populating it with all of our villagers, and we're working on that. We're going to have to keep zombifying and healing those villagers and get this village populated. We landscape the whole area both inside and outside the village here, making it a really nice, decorative, and attractive area to come into and walk around in. We've got a fountain, and we've got all of our auto farming, and the rest of our farming capabilities are here, from auto farms to just stables and everything. The farm, all the auto farming is ready to go and finished. If you enjoyed this video, as always, please do me a favor and leave a like, and tell me in the comments what you think about the build. What do you think about the houses, the decorations, the auto farms? What are your thoughts about the village? Let me know in the comments. And if you're one of the many people who are not subscribed to the channel but watching this video, hey, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's fast, it's free, I appreciate it, YouTube appreciates it, hey, maybe you'll even appreciate it. So consider hitting that subscribe button for me. I thank you for watching this video and joining me on this build journey. As always, thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon, everyone.